What is wrong with a line? A line is a geometrical object that is straight and continues to go on infinitely in mathematics. To mimic a line, a person must be conscious of the movement being made to recreate the geometric object with precision. The hands must point in the opposite direction of the feet. Meanwhile, the feet are parallel to the floor, the torso runs in line with the rest of the line, and the chin is held up. Every single part of a person's body becomes involved in worshipping the line. A natural harmony is captured in gestures that any human being can read and understand. The symmetry of the positions and their movements allow for a pleasing experience for the viewer. Man's proportions allow for beautiful lines. Until one day the elbow bends, the knees buckle, and the torso slouches into itself. The person mutates into a rigid shell, no longer a human being, curling the arms inward and approaching the floor to lie sprawled out on the stomach like a lizard. A person no longer feels like they are flying. Rather, a person forces himself into angular and low-lying postures that make him look as if he is falling. No longer does poise matter in a world made for the ugly. All grace is demolished when the line is no longer praised by people. The line lays dormant, forgotten in the dark ages of a past that once upheld reason and the beauty of mankind as law. Chatter erupted among the girls as they ran up to see the cast list posted next to the door of the rehearsal studio. "Danielle, can you believe I only made understudy?" "Jenny, look, I made it on the list, finally." "No. Oh, no. I don't want to have to partner with Eric. He smells." Dawn Hayes pulled on the mangled black leggings she had used for 2 years now. The black was starting to turn gray from all the dirt and rosin she had picked up over the years from the studio floor. She did not even notice the state that her point shoes were in anymore. Point shoes were always seen in one of two ways: too shiny and new, or dead. It was still hard for her to recognize when her shoes were just right for her to dance in. Opening a bobby pin with her teeth, she tucked the final pin into her bun before heading into the crowd of girls. As she walked, her hip bones moved in her leotard sharply, while her arms hung down loosely by her narrow sides. She was 15, but like many of the girls here, she had not yet grown breasts or wide hips. Her boyish figure was prized in class, at least in ballet class. Standing in front of the wall mirrors, Dawn was not ashamed of her size. Perhaps someday her figure would properly fit a woman's leotard and tutu. The piece of paper fluttered with the spin of each girl's head as she darted to the list and as quickly away from it again. After a week of auditions and then callbacks, the official cast list was out for this season's show, Giselle. Allard Ballet Academy chose Giselle as its opening season show for the students. The audition scene was one of Giselle's earlier variations, which Dawn had been practicing for months in advance. Her teacher was always snapping at her for sitting too much in her hips. As far as auditions went, Dawn felt confident that this year she would make it out of the corps de ballet of her class. Reaching her hand out to steady the fluttering list, Dawn saw her name written next to the part of Mirtha, or the Queen of the Willies. Exhaling, Dawn drew away from the list with a smile on her face. She thought, "Not only am I not a Willie this year, but I am their leader." Her sense of self-satisfaction made her mentally prepared for her upcoming class in 10 minutes. She was the queen, and she shared the role with no one else. It was delicious, glorious, and so right. Dawn grounded her muscles down into the dirt just so her fellow dancers could watch her in rehearsal. While her friends stretched out their sore calves in the obscure corners of the room, she was performing her solo variation. The choreographer's eyes followed her pointed toes and her extended arms, circling round and round, casting a spell on all who dared to watch her. Even though this was not the lead role, it felt perfect for Dawn, who wanted this role with a vengeance. "Hey, Dawn, I get to play Bertha," said Bridget. "Giselle's mother? Good for you." Dawn smiled, moving none of her other facial features. Turning toward the door to the elevator, Dawn pushed the button to close the doors before any other girl could get in with her. She needed some time to herself outside. Down went the glass elevator, and Dawn imagined herself with a crown and scepter standing above all of her sheep. As the elevator doors screeched open, she entered the lobby of her beloved theater. The theater was where she wanted to die. No cremation, no spreading her ashes to the open seas, and no grass.